Your financial projections. Remember in the beginning when we talked about likes, shares, comments, referrals, clicks, and conversions. There's a reason why we talked about likes, shares, comments, referrals, clicks, and conversions. This is your brand equity. This is your social equity. This is your brand proof. These are the results. This is where your conversions are going to come from. If you've got a B2B business, then your business is going to basically take place on LinkedIn most of the time. If you've got a B2C business, business to customer, business to consumer, business to client, then it's going to be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. If you can track your interactions, then you can track your money. Now, I want you to understand something. Likes don't buy. Likes don't buy. So you're going to still have to convert. You're going to have to message and you're going to have to convert. So it goes back and forth. It's like, okay, let me show you real quick. It goes back and forth. It goes from here. Hold on. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Give me 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds. Let me bring this right back to you. Here we go. Boom. It goes from here to here. You got to generate, message, and convert to get here. This is where the conversions take place. You have to generate, message correctly, and convert these into money. The conversions take place here. Remember that. First is the likes, the shares, the comments, the referrals, the clicks, the conversation. This is context. This is context. So there's content and then there's context. Your content should lead to context. If it doesn't, then you're bleeding leads. Your leads are bleeding. They're leaking. All your leads are leaking. Your pipeline is leaking. If you're starting conversation, but you're not closing and converting, then you're bleeding leads all over the place. Your leads are leaking all over your conversation, all over your pipeline, all over your comments, all over your threads. You're bleeding leads. Now I want to ask the people in the call, how many comments or how does this make sense? Let me ask you that. Do you understand that you probably are bleeding leads? People that you're conversing meaninglessly with, talking about things that are not related to the sale? Does this whole concept make sense to you? Bleeding leads, leaking leads, not converting leads, having meaningless conversation, banter or chatting, but not focusing or directing the conversation towards the sale, towards the conversion. What are we doing this for? What are we doing this for? You want to add value, but true value comes after the sale. You can give free value, but free value like this, people, you don't understand. This is fire content that I could turn around and make into a seminar, do it for 3 days, break it down, do each section, each bubble you just saw for a day apiece, make it a 3-day webinar or a 3-day seminar where I charge $5,000 for it. And when I charge $5,000 for it, people will come and they will write down every word that I say. They will raise their hand, they'll ask questions. They will look for referrals. They will look for everything they can to be there and to get the value. But because I give it away for free, some of you are going to get it. Most people are not. Most people are not. They're going to be like, oh, that's another live, and they're going to swing right past it. They're not going to notice the value because I gave it away, because I'm giving it away. They don't understand. And then people say, how do you monetize free? Just by not making it free, by giving them something for free, and then by giving them something that costs money, because people value what costs money. So if you're not converting, and if your price isn't high enough, then you're not making people stretch far enough, and you're not getting the value or the respect that you deserve in the marketplace. And that's why people look at you cross-eyed when you say what you do. They looking at you like, nah, you don't really do that. It's because your prices aren't high enough. Because if your prices were high enough, they wouldn't even have access to you, and they would look at you differently immediately. Does everybody understand this? Does this make sense? Put it in the chat if this makes sense. If you're in the Facebook group, put it in the comments if this makes sense. I really hope this makes sense to you, because this is your key to unlocking the potential that 2021 holds for you economically, occupationally, relationally, financially. These are the way you unlock the keys that 2021 hold for you, by understanding the value of proper positioning and converting. There can be no true perceived value without there being a sale. So make sure that you hold people to high standards, and that you steer the conversation and you make the conversation meaningful. And don't waste your breath. If you're using your breath, if you're speaking, make it mean something. Make it take the client or take the prospect or take the ideal customer or constituent through the pathway of transformation. Nurture them through the pipeline to finally get a conversion at the other end. If not, then you don't really understand what game you're in. You don't understand what business you're in. And you're just seeing people talk about making money, and you're wondering why it's or how it's happening. I just gave you how it happens. I want to ask one more question before I switch my screen. Did everybody on the call do you now have an understanding of how it happened?